So here we have our Sissy Squat machine. Now don't be fooled by the name, this one can get very, very difficult if we apply some changes to it. Now, one thing to bear in mind with this is that it will put some stress on the knees. So if you do have pre-existing knee injuries or are recovering from a knee injury, just consult one of us before we go into it, or go at it with the very, very basic movements that I'm about to show you. Before we start, there are a couple of pins that we can pull out to adjust. The first moving up and down on the front pad, and the second one at the back, which will just move the back pad up and down. Now the back pad height will restrict you if it's too high for some of the more advanced movements. It can be put higher if you want to just do the basic movements. Now, the correct positioning for this would be for you to really have to wedge your feet in. You might have to come in from the side, but you want that support on there. Toes can come away from the floor when you're performing this exercise. We just want to try and make sure that we're pushing through the quads as we extend. Now look at this as a substitute for your leg extension machine that you would typically use in a gym. That's where we should be feeling this, all across that front of the quads. Now, if we're to drop down into a basic squat and pop back up, you can see that I am pushing my calves into the back and I'm pushing my shins into the front. That's what's taking my body weight and giving me some leverage to push back up. Now, again, we can come low, we can add weights, we can hold on to weights, and we can push up. Now, what we should be looking for is we don't want you falling forward. We want you to stay nice and upright, sit down into it, push up. That is the extension part from there. If you're falling forward from here, you're not going to be getting the full benefits of this movement. Chest up nice and high, we sit down into it, and then to lift, we're pushing and we're squeezing to straighten the legs, and we're pushing through the quads at the front. Now, again, I've mentioned that you can add weight to make this more difficult. The other option is to extend the lever length. Now, the further you lean back, the more stress it's going to go through the quads, but also the more strain that goes on the knees. So don't try this one if you are recovering from a knee injury, or if you have knees that are susceptible to injury. But you can lean back and extend from there. And if the mirror is not in place, you can go fully back, make it even more difficult. That's the way that we can make this bodyweight exercise slightly more difficult. Leaning back, popping yourself down, and then extending, squeezing through those quads. Great exercise to use as a basic workout, but very, very good to use at the end of a leg workout if you're looking to fully target those quad muscles that little bit more.